Hey everyone, welcome to the session, and today we'll be talking about how can you containerize a Node.js application and deploy in an AWS ECS Fargate cluster. Now, without wasting time, let's get started and just follow the simple steps. What are the steps? I think by now you already have this document. Just follow the steps. If you are facing an issue, you can always come back to this session video and use it as a reference material. Okay. So first step is to create a Node.js microservice app. Let's go for it. Let's go to the wall. Okay, this is the sample app where I'm using the Express.js and running a HTTP module. Let's call it a Fargate service. Okay, so let's copy this one and make a server.js file. And paste it down there. We need packages, so copy that JSON and create another file called package.json. Okay, after you're done creating the package.json, then just do npm install. Now for this you need you need to install the Node.js. If you not have done that already, you can go to Google, use nvm, and by nvm you can download the nvm and install in Node.js version 12 or more version. Okay, because this demo I'll be using Node.js version 12. You can use any upper version, the same version or any upper version, up to you. Okay, now let's do that. I've already installed nvm use v12 npm install, and it will. Let's see, some problem is there. Okay, looks good now. Let's try again. And we'll create the Express.js. You'll see node modules and Express.js is created on that part. Okay. Now, what is the next step? Let's try to run in local first and see which is working. We have this one, and if we run in local, let's get this console.js server.js running on port 8080, and if we go to localhost, then port 8080, it should work. Okay, oh, got it. So it has to be like this. The URL you have to mention properly, and it's working, right? Now let's go with that. Okay, so what is our next step? We have to create a Docker file, and this is our Docker file code. So copy this one, and the file name should be Docker file, exactly like this. So don't mistake on that part. Let's create a Docker file. Now we have Docker file. To explain just a bit explanation. I know in the session already explains done. Here this is the base image. We are creating org directory where the files will be copied, and we are first copying the node packages and installing the dependencies, because the packages don't get changed that rapidly, but the code does. And if we put this line on top, then every time any code changes happening, we again install package again and again and again. We don't want that, because it's really the packages change. Okay, so make sure this package is on the first. We're installing the packages using this run npm install command, and then copying the codes, whatever codes we have in this directory, and then exposing port 8080, because in the application we are listening to that part. Okay. Now let me actually make it smaller so you can see it fine. Okay, I think now it's good. Let's go to the next step. So we have our Docker file ready. We have already given the explanation of that. We did npm install. Yeah, make sure that you have Docker installed. So let me show you. Docker is installed on my machine. Let's start the application. So Docker is installed. It's 19.x version. It's up to you what version install, but you always use the latest one. Okay. And if you are doing this on the Linux EC2 machine, do that. If you are doing on Mac and or other machine, just simply go to Docker official site, Docker download, and if you go to there, you'll get the Docker. If you're using Mac or Windows, you can use there, and if you're using Linux, you will find the Linux installation similar way. So let's go back to our session. Okay. Now the next step is create an ECR repository, and we'll do that. Let's go to ECR. Sorry, not Secret Manager. Give it some time. So let's go for ECR, Elastic Container Service, and we'll create a ECR repository. So no repositories there. We'll call it what? We'll call it microservices Fargate repo. Okay. Yeah, this one is free, so you can always use that, but this is a demo, so we'll be not using this one. Okay, see, this is pretty quickly created, and if you click on view push commands, you will see all the commands needed. So just copy paste. Before even going for that AWS EC2 AWS commands, make sure you have your CLI installed, and CLI installation is the instructions already given to this link. If you click here, it will give you instruction regarding how to install the version 2 CLI. Okay, let's go. Here we have our push commands. We'll just execute one by one. Okay, login succeeded. Let's build our repo. So from this Docker file, we'll be making one image. Let's do it. Now instructions you might find, let's go for the instruction. You might find like this. Let's go by the instruction only. So let's make this one Docker build microservices. Let's clear this one. So we are naming this as microservices Fargate repo Fargate service. Okay, this one is the image tag name. Now if you come here and do Docker images, you'll see in the top this is created, and what is the size of it? Let me show you that also. So it's 85 MB only. Okay, now we have to tag this one. You've already tagged done. Now let's go here, and this is, so instead of our tag is a bit different, right? So always make sure you use the proper tagging. Our tagging is microservices Fargate repo Fargate service. Now it's up to you. The name tag name that you used is up to you. We have to tag the local repo with the remote repo. Let's do that. So our local repo is this one, microservices Fargate repo. Then the tag name is Fargate service. It's up to you what name you used, but you can use any name. And as per our document, we are also naming the remote tag also Fargate service. Okay, so instead of latest, we can just go ahead and say it Fargate service, and we will just go ahead and tag it. And tagging is done. Now what is the next command? Our next command is to push that repo to the ECR. Now again, make sure that you use the proper tag names, because people do mistake in this part. So make sure you push the proper tag, and let's do it. It will take some time, and then it will be pushed to the ECR. And we will be using this image to run our application. Okay, just give it some time. In the meantime, let's create our clusters and everything, right? So, okay, now let's go with the cluster. Let's see if the process is done or not. I think it will be done in a few seconds, so let's wait for that one. As you can see, it's done. Okay, it's done now. Okay, pushed. So let's go with the steps. Now let's get a networking only cluster. So now let me show you the difference. ECS. Just search by the service and we will come to the service. Click on the clusters. Make sure you click on the ECS cluster, not on the other things, not on the EKS cluster, okay? Because people do mistake on that part. Now click on create cluster. You will find these three options. Now if you want to create with the EC2 instances, you select this one. If you want to create with the Fargate, I mean if you want to create it for Fargate, then you have to click on this one. Okay, make sure, see, powered by AWS Fargate, networking only. Do that. Next step, give it a name. So let's go with our microservices Fargate cluster. Done. Let's create. Yes, always create. If you are running, creating a new application which is completely separate from other applications, then make sure you use the new VPC. In that way, it will be isolated from anything else. Okay. And always good practice to enable the container insights. And you have to keep track of few things. Okay, after this done, make sure you copy this one somewhere safe in the code. You keep a tracking kind of thing. I'm showing you just a moment. See, these are the resources getting created. Give some time, it will be created. Okay, be patient, have few minutes, and it will be done pretty quick. And after this done, we'll create the task definition and the container information, of course. So let's wait for this one. And I think it's nearly done. You keep sure of this main reference, okay, the VPC ID, because it will be required all the places here and there. Sometime including the security group ID, the load balancer. So those cases, if you forget, I mean, if you miss this one, if you have a lot of VPC, if you miss this ID, it will be problematic. So keep a reference of that. Call it resource information. It's good practice. And make sure you don't get to the Git repo. Make it a Git ignore. Okay. Just add it in a Git ignore, so it will be not pushed to the repo. Let's say reference doc.txt and keep the reference here. So what is our VPC ID, what is our subnets and all. Subnet is not required, but the VPC is highly required. Okay, you will see when it will be needed. Okay, so click on view cluster and you see no ECS instance and no EC2 instance running. It's all Fargate. One thing to notice, in the capacity provider there were two things: Fargate capacity provider and Fargate spot. Now I will not go to that details because it's not related to the capacity providers, but it's something you should check. Okay, now we'll be creating our task definitions. Let's go by step. Click here. Once you click on the create task definition, you have two options, one for Fargate and one for EC2. Since this session is regarding Fargate, so let's click on the EC2. Sorry, in Fargate. And let's go next step. What name I'm using? I'm using, let's call it Fargate Service TD. Okay, copy it, paste it here. Nothing role is not needed, it will create automatically. Make sure you will only have the AWS VPC mode, nothing else. Task execution. Make sure if you don't have any role, just create a new role. task memory. Here using 0.5 GB, so call it 0.5 GB, and 0.25 CPU. This is a small application, right? If you have big application, based on your application, you choose your what kind of, how much memory and how much CPU needed. Based on the application, you choose it. Okay. Now add the container information. Let's call it container name is forget service container, and image you will find from let's go to ECR. So this is the image. Copy the URI and paste it here, and done. What is the software we are setting? 512. Container port 8080, and no command, just go with all the defaults. It's all good to go. Just review it before you may create it, and then click on add. It's just for the last check. Just see everything is fine. Okay, all good. Okay, click on create, and it's just created. It's added here. All good. Now click on create, and it will create the task definition. View task definitions. So now your the task definition required to run the task is created, and let's go. Let's follow the next step. After that, the next step is to create a service to run the task definition. Okay, so let's do that. Go to clusters, and you remember we have created microservices Fargate cluster. Click on that, and we have to create service. Now you can create standalone, but you know, if that stops, it stops. You have to make sure run the service so it keeps running whenever needed, and you stay. If you need auto scaling kind of stuff, then also the service is on the way. Let's do that. Create services. We are using Fargate, of course. The Fargate task definition. You have to select the target definition. From this drop down, we can create that. You can select that, and let's call it service name. What we are calling Fargate service TD. Just Fargate service. That's it. Number of tasks I want at least one to be running. Now this is the rolling update part. I mean, if you what kind of update you want, rolling one by one, blue green in the shadow, the new deployment will be created, and once that's done, the testing is done, it will automatically replace. That is the blue green one. Now there is a lot to talk about blue green, but it's not. This is not about that one, so we'll skip that part. Let's go with the rolling update, the default, and let's click on next step. Here is the important part now. So remember I told you to make sure you copy the VPC ID. This is now handy. So VPC is in the last 4 are 2ECB. So that's it, 2ECB. This is how I remember. So you can use a similar method. Add the subnets required and the security group. The security group allow the port that is actually required. Now it's not the port 80 port that we need it. We need the port 8080. Since the application we are allowing is 8080. Let's do it. Let's call it custom TCP. Custom TCP. Call it 8080 anywhere and save it. Okay. Okay. Now what is the next step? Next step is to create an application load balance. Now we have created the Fargate. Now how is the application to be accessible? We have to make this application accessible. We can do it in multiple way, but since we want to make it's a web application, we are making sure it's accessible by the load balancer. Okay. Now I don't have any load balancer, so I have to go ahead and create it. Click on this EC2 console link, and it will redirect to the load balancer creation wizard. choose the application load balancer, give it a name. So let's go. What name are you selecting? We are calling it microservices Fargate LB. Spacing. We want the listeners to be on port 80. We want the default port to be 80, but the container port to be 80. So let's go with the 81. In the, if some traffic come in the load balancer, it should come to port 80. See, is important. So select which VPC that your cluster have. Again, that's why I told you the key difference of this one. Select the availability zones. This one don't need that. Default VPC. You can create a new one. Let's call it. Are you creating any name? Okay. See, microservices Fargate LBSG. So do that. It's good. See, use the good naming so identify later. Otherwise, it will be a big problem. It's done. We are allowing port traffic on port 80. Let's go with the configure routes. Let's call it. Let's call it default. Are you using any name here? Yeah, microservices Fargate LBTG. So use the same naming here. Go with the advanced health checking part. Now see, we are selecting the, if you come here and see the route part server, this is the route, right? So make sure you utilize them properly. If you go for other path, don't mention it, it will be problematic. So give the path. Okay, and then click on these targets. Don't do anything, just go with the review, and that's it. Create it and see everything's created. Close. You have your load balancer ready. Now for provisioning, it takes some time, so give it some 5-10 minutes. Sometimes may take more or less, but that is fine. And now we have your load balancer ready. Good, and you are good to go here. Do refresh and see the load balancer came here. See, there's the option. Do that. Click on add load balancer. Listening on port 80. So you are listening on port 80, the default port we have created there. Target group name. Let's call it. I think since there was a default one, I think it will conflict. So let's use a better naming. TG new. Okay. It will not conflict. Path pattern right. Fargate service. This is the microservice approach. You are only this application only accessible by the Fargate service. Copy that and make sure this is right here. Yeah. And this is the health check. That is true. You can health check. You can check health there also. Here also, it's up to you. I mean, this is the mandatory one. You can say there also. All good. And give it 1. All good here, and go for next step. Now you can create auto scaling, is up to you. I will highly suggest this one. Give minimum number 1, give maximum says 10. Sorry, desired is 1, maximum 10. Based on the application load, it will get adjusted. So you create a new role. Always, like if you are creating first time, you have select the create new role, and that is perfectly fine. Let's go for the default one. Say high CPU. And there is 3 options: ECS, service, average CPU utilization. If you are going for the target tracking, if you go for step selling, you have multiple ways. That will be complex to understand. So let's go with the simpler one: target tracking. High CPU usage. I'm calling this high CPU usage. So if there is a high CPU usage, say more than 80%, then it will keep adding the ECS instances. ECS service average regulations. Okay, you can do it via the memory, and you can do it via the ALB request count. So if it's too much request, based on that also you can achieve this part, the scaling one. Okay, go for next step, and you're all good to go. Create a service. It will take some time. The request, so the resource will get created, and after you're done, you can view the service. And I think we are good to go. Okay, so ECS service status 9 of 9 is completed. See, the security group created, the inbound rules created, the load balancer is attached, the rules created, service created. Click on the service name, and it's pending state. Give it some time, and it will come into running state. And we can access the application via the load balancer. Don't forget that part. This is the application. This is the URL of the load balancer that provided by Amazon Web Services, and it's running. So if you try to go and access, you remember the path. Don't forget the path. Forget service, and if you try to access that, okay, it takes some time, so don't worry on that part, and it's working. So this is how easy it is to create your own application image and do all this integration. I have shown you in the video. If you find any problem, you can always reach out to me. There's Chime link going on. The support available in Chime, so feel free to reach out. Okay, thank you.